I would have to run like hell away from that stereotype of the four-camera sitcom farce, mindless drivel.
Three's Company, the show that made America laugh for years, was hiding secrets so explosive that executives locked them away forever. Behind the bright smiles and funny misunderstandings, careers were ruined, episodes were banned, and entire scenes vanished without explanation, leaving behind whispers of cover-ups that nearly destroyed lives. What really went on inside those Santa Monica apartments, and why did networks fight so hard to bury the truth? It all began with one shocking moment, a wardrobe malfunction that changed television history. John Ritter was in the middle of another physical comedy scene, flipping over the living room couch when disaster struck. His shorts caught on the fabric and slipped lower than anyone expected. In front of a live audience and rolling cameras, the clean family sitcom had suddenly captured something that could never air. The director screamed, "Cut!" Crew members rushed to block the cameras and collect any photos before the footage was sealed and delivered straight to ABC executives. They ordered a reshoot and locked the original tape away forever. That moment became legendary, but it wasn't the only one. Ritter's energy and wild stunts often danced on the edge of disaster. His clothes ripped, his jokes went too far, and every few weeks new footage had to be buried by the network to protect the show's image. Suzanne Summers, who played Chrissy Snow, also shocked the set with off-script remarks that made everyone freeze. And Joyce DeWitt's outbursts after missed lines had to be edited out too. Even Don Knotts pushed the limits with improvised jokes that horrified the censors, forcing production to halt mid-scene. Most of these moments were destroyed, but a few rare blooper reels slipped through to collectors, revealing a raw and unfiltered version of Three's Company that was too bold for primetime America. And it was clear the network wanted these clips buried to protect Ritter's wholesome image and the show's family-friendly appeal. But the real explosion came not from bloopers, but from betrayal. Suzanne Summers walked into a meeting in 1980 expecting fair pay and walked out blacklisted. She simply asked to be paid the same as John Ritter, $150,000 per episode. While she made only $30,000, the response from ABC was brutal. They rewrote scripts to remove her from main scenes, forced her to film alone, and even banned her from the soundstage. Her humiliation was broadcast to millions as her character appeared only through fake phone calls, smiling into empty air while laughter tracks covered the pain. Offset, she was isolated completely. Her dressing room was moved, her catering removed, and her image destroyed by planted stories labeling her greedy and ungrateful. It was a warning to every actress in Hollywood that defying the network meant career death. Ritter couldn't defend her. DeWitt stayed silent, and Summers became a public scapegoat. Her punishment was turned into a cautionary tale for others, a reminder that fairness had no place in show business. But even the scandal with Summers wasn't the strangest part. What most viewers never knew is that different audiences were watching completely different shows. Networks secretly released alternate edits of episodes depending on location. Los Angeles and New York got the uncut versions with more adult humor, while conservative cities like Atlanta or Salt Lake City received heavily censored edits. Entire jokes, drinks, or scenes disappeared to suit community standards. So when fans moved across states, they were stunned to find scenes missing or rewritten. It wasn't a glitch. It was deliberate manipulation. By the time DVD collections came out in the 90s, viewers finally discovered the truth that they hadn't been watching the same sitcom after all. Each region had been spoon-fed its own version of acceptable comedy. Even stranger, the show's earliest pilots revealed how different it was meant to be before it became a light-hearted sitcom. It was a bold adaptation of the British show Man About the House, and in its first filmed pilot, Jack wasn't pretending to be gay. He was openly bisexual. The scripts were edgier, the dialogue more honest, and the characters far more mature, but ABC panicked, terrified that real representation would spark outrage. They buried those tapes, rewrote everything, and turned Jack into a straight man faking homosexuality to satisfy outdated standards. Entire sets were redesigned, costumes softened, and storylines rewritten to erase any sign of real sexuality, authenticity was sacrificed for comfort, and what could have been groundbreaking television became a carefully controlled illusion. Over time, fans began inventing their own myths, talking about a lost bedroom episode where Jack was caught in bed with both Janet and Chrissy, or a shower scene that was too scandalous to air. These episodes never existed, but the legends reflected a deeper truth. Audiences knew the show lived on the edge of censorship, and in that tension, fantasy filled the gaps. VHS collectors in the 80s even created fake compilations of banned scenes, fueling the belief that the network had destroyed forbidden content. But the real censorship went far beyond lost footage or edited jokes. It was cultural. Three's Company was built on the lie that homosexuality could only be funny if it wasn't real. Jack's fake sexuality was the punchline because genuine LGBTQ representation was forbidden. Behind the laughter, television was quietly erasing entire identities, creating a world where queer people existed only as jokes, not as human beings. The same control extended to how women were portrayed, limited to naive blondes or responsible caretakers, never as equals or individuals with full depth, and those who dared ask for fairness, like Suzanne Summers, were silenced or destroyed. That was the real censorship, not in vaults or burned film reels, but in the cultural assumptions that shaped what America was allowed to see. Three's Company wasn't just a sitcom, it was a mirror reflecting the limits of its time, and its hidden stories show how laughter often masked cruelty and fear. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon so you never miss another hidden story from television history. See you in the next video.